My name is Mariam Noor. That is my Islamic name. But my legal name is Margaret Templeton. I was born in Scotland to a house which was atheist. In our house, we were not allowed ever to speak about God, and even if we learned something in school, we were not allowed to say anything or we would be punished. For as long as I can remember, I learned to read when I was about 3. For as long as I can remember, I have been seeking the truth about why I am in this world. What am I here for? What am I supposed to do?
We have a pleasant interruption for 1 minute. Alhamdulillah.
Too close?
No. We've had some incredible things happen, and without any delay, because the brother, he wants to be a Muslim.
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar.
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar.
Takbir!
Can I repeat after me? Okay. Say Ashhadu.
Ashhadu
Allah.
Allah
Ali. Ashhadu Allah.
Ashhadu Allah
Allah.
Allah
Illallah.
illallah
Ashhadu.
Ashhadu
Anna.
anna
Muhammadan.
Muhammad
Rasulullah. Say, I declare there is only one God,
there is only one God,
and Muhammad
and Muhammad
is the final messenger.
the final messenger.
Allahu Akbar. I say it all the time. This amazing. Allah is the greatest. And you know that's the reaction. The only reaction that needs to be, and the only thing that needs to be said is that the creator of the 7 heavens is amazing. He made this gentleman come up, and after the sister speaks, we'll get the brother to say a few words and explain to us a little bit. Okay, she said let him speak now. We'll give him a few minutes and he can tell us that. I never met him, so let me sit down and listen.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I came up here out of my own will to share a few words. I felt as though I needed to explain this to everyone. In fact, I was born Muslim. I'm an Arab. My name is Yusuf. Okay? My mother is Christian. My father is Muslim. I grew up here in Canada. My background is Kuwaiti. And I wanted to share with everyone my experiences that I've learned growing up. As a young boy, I was brought up upon the Islamic faith. I wasn't strict about it. My father wasn't strict about it. He didn't enforce many of the rules upon me, as he allowed me to choose on my own path. And as I grew, I started to learn more and more about Islam, and I started to appreciate its values and the beliefs behind it. I experienced a few things in my life that brought me to a turning point. I went very, very far, and I almost felt as though I hit rock bottom, the end, until something showed me that there was a truer meaning out there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke to me. He showed me that life has its own meaning, and life can be so beautiful when you understand what path it is you need to take. I thank Allah, alhamdulillah, for showing me the true path that I should stray to go upon, so that inshallah I'm in Jummah one day. Excuse me, I'm kind of nervous. After realizing that it was the path that I needed to take, I tried my very best to learn and to be devoted to whatever I learned next. I had to thank my friends, my family, their families for showing me. And I guess the part that makes me feel good the most is the fact that whatever I've learned, as little as it may be, I feel devoted to it. Because I feel as though no one has told me to learn this. I need to find this out on my own. And when you figure out things on your own, And when you have the desire to learn on your own, your heart opens and the meaning stays with you forever. Thank you. That's what I wanted to say. Appreciate it. Assalamu alaikum.
I was born to a house where God was not allowed to be spoken about. As soon as I became old enough, I began to search for some information about this person called God that other people mention. And all through my life, I have been seeking the truth. Not a particular religion, but the truth. Something which made sense to me, and something which opened my heart, and something which made my life worthwhile. I have been in practically every church in the kingdom, both here and at home. It never occurred to me to think about Islam. I became interested in Islam when the war took place in Iraq, and I read the terrible things that were being said in the papers about Muslims. And I was sufficiently well educated about other religions to know that these things were not true, that lies were being told. And so I went seeking for a teacher who could teach me something about the Islamic way of life so that I would be able to refute these things that were being said about the Muslims, which were wrong, which were lies, and which came from Satan, or Satan, as I called him then. I have always made it one of the things that I do is I talk to everyone. I want to smile at everyone and say hello and how are you and what is your day like, just to help their day along. Because Jesus spread happiness wherever he was. And at that time I was a Roman Catholic, but I was very unhappy. And I left the church. And I didn't know where to go. At the same time as I was seeking for a teacher in Islam, I was praying constantly all day to God. Help! 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 Over and over and over, all day for almost 2 years. Because I did not know what to do, where to go. A friend of a friend of a friend brought me the name of an alim, I think, a scholar. His name was Nuruddin, and he was an Arabic born in this country, and he lived in Ajax. And he invited me to come to his house, which I did, and he told me what books to buy. And I could call him if I had questions. And that was our relationship. There were 7 volumes of this book. It was a commentary on the Quran. Very excellent. And if I could remember its name, I would tell you. But being one of the older ones, one of the less beautiful ones, I cannot always remember everything. So I started to study. I opened the first book. I read the acknowledgement. And then I didn't start from the back because I didn't know that. I started from the front. And I was immediately in Al-Baqarah. Is this correct? Yes. And before Al-Baqarah, there was Al-Fatiha. Al-Fatiha? Yes. And I read Al-Fatiha. And it was as though I were struck by lightning. poured from my eyes. Tears like Niagara Falls. My heart beat very quickly. I was sweating, I was shaking like this. I was afraid that this was Shaitan, that he was trying to stop me because I had found a way because this book might give me the way to truth, which is what I was seeking.